In the village of Kamfumu, people rushed to the market. Motorbikes, bicycles, and taxis crisscrossed paths. No one followed traffic signs. Children ran between cars. Elders shouted warnings, and chaos ruled the road. Sefu was known for his discipline. Every morning he wore a helmet, secured his vegetable cart, and followed the road rules. People laughed at him. "Why so serious?" they mocked. But Sefu believed safety was strength. He stayed focused, even when others rushed past recklessly, ignoring every rule on the road. A loud crash echoed through the village road. A speeding taxi had struck a young boy crossing without looking. Screams followed. The driver blamed the child. But deep down, everyone knew. If only the driver had slowed down, if only the road was respected, this would not have happened. After the accident, the chief gathered everyone at the town center. His voice thundered. "How many more must suffer? We ignore signs, speed in crowds, and waste precious time. Enough!" Faces lowered. A hush spread. The people realized something had to change before more lives were destroyed by careless roads. Sefu stood tall. "We need to obey the road," he said. "Signs aren't decorations. They protect lives. Wearing helmets, using crossings, slowing down. It matters. I've seen what happens when we don't. Let's lead with example. Let Kamfumu become the village where discipline drives us safely forward." Sefu pointed at a broken cart and the crying mother beside it. "This," he said, "is the cost of rushing." He explained how accidents waste hours, hospital visits, repairs, missed work. But with traffic rules, we gain time, peace, and safety. The villagers began to understand that time was life itself. Sefu visited the school by the roadside. He knelt before the children, pointing to the zebra crossing. "Look both ways. Don't run on roads. Obey traffic lights," he said. The children repeated after him, their eyes bright with curiosity. That day, they didn't just learn. They understood the power of caution. Sefu held up his scratched helmet. "I had an accident," he said. "My bike crashed. This helmet cracked, but my head didn't." The crowd leaned in. "It's not weakness to protect yourself. It's wisdom." Gasps and murmurs spread. His truth sank deep. That day, many vowed never to ride bareheaded again. Inspired by Sefu, villagers painted road signs, set up zebra crossings, and placed speed limit boards. Children helped plant caution flags. Shopkeepers cleared paths. The once chaotic road began to breathe again. Kamfumu was transforming, not by force, but by choice. Respect had begun to replace recklessness on every corner. Market days in Kamfumu were once chaos. Now, vendors stayed behind the line. Carts parked in designated spots, and children walked with care. Traffic moved without shouting or horns. Sefu watched quietly. The road was no longer a battlefield. It was becoming a rhythm of discipline, and the people moved with it. As weeks passed, villagers noticed a change. They reached school, farms, and the clinic earlier than before. "No accidents, no delays," one elder smiled. "We finally honor time." Roads no longer stole minutes, they saved them. The village had not just changed how they moved, but how they lived. The chief returned weeks later, eyes scanning the orderly streets. "You've done well," he said, deeply moved. "This is not the village I once warned." Children waved, shopkeepers smiled. He raised his staff and declared, "From today, Kamfumu will be known not for chaos, but for wisdom, unity, and time well spent." News of Kamfumu's change spread fast. Nearby villages invited Sefu to speak. With humility he stood before strangers and shared his story. "I am no hero," he said. "I just chose the road of wisdom." People listened, learned, and promised, "We too will walk the safe, respectful path forward." Young villagers lined up for driving lessons. They wore helmets, adjusted mirrors, and learned to signal properly. Instructors watched proudly. "This is how change lasts," On said. The roads echoed with discipline, not danger. These youths weren't just drivers. They were guardians of a new era, rooted in respect and responsibility. Kamfumu no longer feared its roads. Children played safely. Elders walked without worry. Drivers paused, waved others through, and Sefu. He watched it all with quiet pride. It was never about traffic, he thought. It was about life, and how we choose to live it, together, with care, and in time.